Alrighty ho there, my lovelies. Welcome back to Crazy But Not Dangerous. I'm Shorty Von Yippee Skippy. I'm making a dish for St. Patrick's Day. I'm super excited about it. I'm hungry. It's what's for dinner tonight. I know I'm a few days early, but you know, you got to get a jump start on the holiday. It's only one day. Celebrate as much as you can. Or it gives you all some time to get, the ingredients and get all prepped up. What am I going to make? I'm going to make a St. Patrick's Day corned beef shepherd's pie. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what's for dinner. It's going to be super fun and delicious. It's a couple of steps, but it's totally worth it. So I have got a bunch of potatoes, and these are yellow potatoes, and I have found for me personally that a yellow potato does not raise my glucose very much when eaten in moderation. So just a couple of tablespoons for me. But Melissa and Andrew will enjoy that mashed potato topping on our shepherd's pie. I don't know, is it a shepherd's pie? I think if it's made with beef instead of lamb, that it's a cottage pie. It doesn't really matter what you call it. Don't call me late for dinner. Call it completely delicious. So these yellow potatoes have a very thin skin. I am not going to peel them because ain't nobody got time for that. I love them. They're delicious, and they make a fairly decent mashed potato. You can do this with any potato. Red potatoes, russet potatoes, whatever you got. Whatever looks good at your house. And I'm just slicing them into a similar thickness because I don't want any hard crunchy bits. Nobody likes that. That makes you sad. And if you find that you need more potatoes than what I have, well, baby, you might be feeding more people. Go for it. Have at it. It'll be all right. It'll be okay. Maybe we're going to slice that one an extra time. That one's a little bit big. Yeah, have at it. It'll be okay. Whatever you need to do to feed your family. How's everybody doing out there today? Did you do anything fun? Did you do anything exciting? Pretty much the same old here. We had doctor's appointments. We went and had Andrew's V-Cross. It's like a four-wheel drive SUV kind of thing. Emissions tested. Do you all do emissions testing where you're at? We have bad pollution problems because we're in a valley and the pollution just kind of hovers over us, and you just wait. You just wait for wind, rain, something to blow it all out. But we have to emissions test because, got to make the Environmental Protection Agency happy. We were lucky enough to pass, thank goodness. Yay, hooray. And yeah, another 2 years on the road. Can't beat that with a stick. He loves to go four-wheel driving. I love it too, I have to admit. I think it's super fun. I need to move these potatoes on along because they're starting to get little eyes, but I picked them all off. So we're right in the nick of time. They're not soft or anything yet. Okay, I am going to go ahead and add a few cracks of salt in here. There we go. And I am going to drop all of these potatoes. I did wash them. Just gave them all a good scrub. Going to throw these potatoes in here to boil and get those all cooking. Yippee Skippy. Yeah, even though I can't have many, just a few tablespoons of potatoes. Yes, please, and thank you. That sounds good to me. There we go. Yay. All right, let those do what they do. I've also got a casserole dish here. I put one of those crock pot liners in it because, yeah, nobody wants to scrub. Nobody wants to scrub at my house, so we're going to make it in here, and then it's pop that out and just throw it away once all of my leftovers got taken care of. Now, a couple of months back, look at this. I bought this corned beef over at my deli, so it was already cooked all the way. But I went over there and I asked the little man who takes excellent care of me over at the deli. I said, you got anything on special? He said, well, I tell you, I got this 2.5 pounds. It's the end piece of a corned beef. And yeah, it's on its way out. We haven't been moving it very fast. And I'll give it to you for about $13. I said, yes, please, and thank you. Because it's already cooked. It's already seasoned. It's already delicious. And I can't buy 2.5 pound corned beef at my supermarket for $13. It's usually about $5 a pound. Well, it's been in my freezer and it's been waiting for, its big debut. And what better time to pull it out than St. Patrick's Day? I love it. I'm going to be making about half of it. So this is about 1.25 pounds. That's going to be plenty. Going to put the rest of it in there, and we're going to do something else with it in just a couple of days, because I don't want it dying on the vine in my refrigerator. I'm going to take this and I am just going to cube it up. And I think this is a great recipe to do. Like maybe you don't want to cook a whole corned beef. Maybe you just want to get, a chunk, maybe a pound over at the deli, already cooked up for you. Maybe you're the only person that likes corned beef and you're just going to buy a little tiny bit over at the deli. Or you're on a budget and your corned beef is super expensive, but you want to have a little St. Patrick's Day celebration with some corned beef and you can afford a little bit. Baby, go right on ahead and treat yourself. You don't have to cook the whole thing. You can just cube this up and it's going to be fantastic. This is already pre-cooked. Corned beef is naturally red, in case you've never had it before. And I say that because my sister said, are you going to cook that? I said, no, baby, that's already cooked. And she said, but it's so red. Yeah, it's so red because, it's a cured meat. Anyhow, she's not sure about it. Apparently, she's never had corned beef before. And she's not sure about it, but she's willing to try it when it comes out. Be willing to try everything. At least take a bite of it, Anyhow, I'm going to cube this up. I'm going to put this here in the bottom of my baking dish. Oh, I cut that piece. Nobody wants that little weaselly piece. I'm just going to enjoy that myself. Maybe you're feeding a bigger family. Maybe you have leftovers from a big corned beef brisket that you cooked on St. Patrick's Day. This is a great thing to do with the leftovers. I think it would be super yummy and delicious. If you are just one person who likes corned beef in your house and you want to have some, I'll link in my last year's corned beef recipe up here. It was corned beef roll-ups. So I made like colcannon with the potatoes and the cabbage and what have you. And then I had some deli sliced corned beef. Anyhow, I laid that out, put the colcannon in the middle, and then rolled it up and then cooked it. And it was fantastic. That was a great way and a very economical way. I think I spent maybe all of like $8 on the whole meal, including the deli sliced corned beef. You could use pastrami. Yeah, if you don't like corned beef, you could use pastrami. You could use roast beef, whatever rocks your boat. It's adaptable. I would say, heck, if you wanted to make a chicken shepherd's pie, baby, go for it. Have at it. It'll be okay. And I am just cubing these up into pretty meaty chunks. That's how we like it. As small or as big as you want. I'm hungry. I am so hungry. That looks good. That looks delicious. So got that all layered there in the bottom. gonna grab a couple of things. I have some frozen chopped onion. Oh, about 3 or 4 ounces. And I'm gonna go ahead and just layer those right on in there. Yes, please, and thank you. Hot diggity. I have a little bit of everything but the bagel seasoning, no salt, because that corned beef has plenty of salt. For Andrew and I, we're not going to need any more, but I think that this is going to be spectacular. A little bit of that. I also have a little bit of celery seed. Yes, please, and thank you. Maybe just a little bit more. I have about 1/2 teaspoon of caraway seeds, and I just want to kind of break those up in my hand a little bit and add them in here. I love corned beef on rye bread and with caraway seeds, and I think that just little bit of caraway, it has a very pungent taste to it. I think that little bit of caraway is going to mimic the taste that you get, the companion taste from that rye bread beautifully. And yeah, that's going to be my secret ingredient today. Hot diggity. Shh, don't tell people. Got a cabbage. You know I love them. Yes, please. Go ahead and cut this in a little bit more, about 1/3. It's a pretty nice big cabbage. I'm going to cut it into about 1/3, and then I am going to go ahead and just slice this baby up. Just get this going. I want it kind of finely sliced because I want it to cook in a good amount of time. I want it to be nice and tender. That meat, like I said, is already fully cooked, and I don't want to be waiting on this cabbage for hours. I want this to cook in about, 45 minutes. That's how much time I'm going to give it. And cut your cabbage as thinly as you want. Can you make this in your crock pot? Well, sure. Absolutely. I would do the cabbage, I would do the corned beef and the onions and the spices, and then just at the very last minute add my potatoes and cheese. Let those kind of sit on top for about the last hour maybe, and yeah, that should be delicious. You could make everything ahead of time, have it parked in your refrigerator, and then just pop it into the oven when you get home from work. Put your feet up, play some play Candy Crush or Bingo or something like that on your phone until dinner time. Maybe you sit on the couch with like a nice warm rag over your eyes or some cucumber slices. That sounds really good. Okay, so about 1/3 of the cabbage. I would say that's probably about 2 cups of cabbage. If you don't like cabbage, well, put something else in. Celery, carrots, and onions sound fantastic. Wouldn't hurt a bit. There we go. Alrighty. Alright, I need to make a little room here on my countertop. So those potatoes, they're just going away there. Gonna make a little room, and then we're gonna make a little bit of gravy for inside. Yeah, for all of that to cook down in. It's gonna be fantastic. I'm so hungry. I'm ready. I'm ready, babies. Alrighty, let's go ahead and make a little bit of sauce. So I have some brown gravy mix. You can use the envelopes. I would use 2 cups of water and 2 envelopes. That's going to be about 4 tablespoons of the brown gravy mix for about this size casserole. You're making a smaller one, you won't need so much. So about 4 tablespoons of the brown gravy mix, 2 cups of water. Get that all stirred in there together, and that goes with cold water. I've got some Dijon mustard, just the dregs. It's a sad day, man. I gotta go restock on all my condiments. I need Dijon mustard, spicy brown, regular mustard. We're running low on all of them. Heck, we're even running low on ketchup, and that's a Christmas miracle because ketchup is one of our least used condiments typically. But I've been making a lot of the Thousand Island and the Western dressing, so you know, we got to re-up on it. It's going to be a condiment run to the dollar store. That's what it's going to be. Okay. So I want about a tablespoon of this mustard, and it's making vulgar noises. It's just terrible. Hey, get it together, mustard. We're on YouTube. You got to class it up, baby. Okay, so got about a tablespoon in there. I'm not measuring. I don't need one more dirty thing. And I'm going to go ahead and just whisk that up because corned beef and mustard go together so well. That's going to be extra delicious. And the cabbage, too. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I am absolutely thrilled. Yay, hooray. Get that all in there. I'm going to preheat my oven to 400 degrees because that's how I like to cook it. And then I'm going to go ahead and just pour the brown gravy mustard combination all over the top. This will thicken as it cooks in the oven. I'm not worried about it one bit. It's going to need some black pepper. But like I said, it's not going to need any more salt because that corned beef is going to be plenty salty for my entire dish. You might need to salt yours if you want to, baby. It's all right. And that brown gravy mix, yeah, that's salty too. So just be careful. All right, I think that looks terrific. We're just waiting for our potatoes. I'm just going to whip these up with my hand mixer and just add a little bit of butter and some milk, little pepper, little salt, you know, and then we're going to put the cheese layer on top. It's a good thing I shredded that cheese yesterday. Yay, hooray. All right, let's check my potatoes and see if they are good to go. They are fork tender, piercing them all the way through. That skin is nice and tender. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. And I've got my colander all set up in the sink, drain them off. And then let's make some mashed potatoes for the top of our corned beef shepherd's pie. I'm excited. Okay, well, I drained my potatoes off. I am going to set them down on the burner. It's still a little bit warm. I want that residual heat. I have about half a stick of butter here. That's how much I'm going to add. Maybe that's a pound of potatoes. That's my best guess. It's going to be more than enough for us. Throw that butter on in there. I've got some milk. I'm not adding all of this milk, but this is easier for me to manage right now than the whole gallon. I'm going to add about 4 ounces of milk to this. And we can always add more if we need it. Keep our eye on it, our eagle eye on it, and see what it needs. I have some seasonal, and this is just a seasoned salt. It's got garlic, it's got onion, it's got all the things. It's super yummy, and I'm going to add a few shakes of that in there because I don't want my potatoes to be bland. No, thank you. And then I'm just going to go ahead and whip them up with my little hand mixer because I am not into mashing. All right, let's go ahead and take a taste test of our mashed potatoes. Make sure we've got enough seasoning in there. And they look fantastic. Oh yeah, those are good. Those are fantastic. They don't need another darn thing. Yeah, those are going to be super good. All right, we've got our corned beef, we've got our onion, we've got our cabbage. That's delicious. Let's go ahead and get our potatoes on top. Now these are a little bit rustic because we have the skin still on them. Could you use instant mashed potatoes? Absolutely. I like instant mashed potatoes. Yeah, whatever you got time for and the effort for. Just go ahead and put those on top and just spread those out as evenly as you can. There we go. Yummy. This is going to be so good. And I love St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day, it's the day that we can all kind of celebrate the Irish, be a little Irish, wear a little green, you know, have some corned beef and cabbage. If you had a little Guinness and put that in there, I wouldn't say no. You know, we're off the booze right now. So, yeah, no Guinness for us. But a little Guinness in here would be fantastic. Yeah. Absolutely. If you did mashed turnips, that would be great. I am the only person that likes turnips in this house. I think in other parts of the world you might call a turnip a rutabaga. But we actually have a different vegetable that we call a rutabaga here. It's a little bit bigger and a little bit woodier than a turnip. But yeah, rutabaga would be great. Potatoes sound fantastic to me. Everybody in my household will eat those. And spread that on out. Get that all covered. Cut corner to corner. I love shepherd's pie. And I think that this is just a fun, interesting little twist on it. I'm going to get all those potatoes in there. Now I'm just going to have a couple of tablespoons of the potato. I'm going to have a lot of the cabbage. I love it. I love it. And you know I do. If you watched any, you know that I cook a lot of cabbage and I like it. I also bought some of that Febreze air freshener for days that I'm cooking cabbage, because I get the complaints from, my peanut gallery, Andrew and Melissa. It smells like cabbage in here. Yeah, it smells like cabbage. That's awesome. But they don't care for it. So I bought some Febreze to, kind of cut down on the smells. They don't approve. Okay. Got that all in there. Think that looks fantastic. I'm all ready for it. I'm gonna put it in, and then I'm gonna put the lid on top. So fingers crossed. Here we go. It's a little bit heavy. And in we go. I did it. Yay, hooray. Put the lid on there. And I've got mine set to 400 degrees, 375, 400 degrees. My stove cooks a little bit different. Everybody's stove cooks a little bit differently. 400 is my best temperature on this stove. I'll keep my eagle eye on it. I want those potatoes to toast up just a little bit, get a little bit of a crunchy edge all the way around. I'm thinking it's going to take about 35 to 45 minutes, and then I'm going to put a little bit of cheese on top. Yeah, a little extra decadence. Yeah, that sounds good to me. That gravy's going to thicken up in there. That cabbage is going to cook. That corned beef is going to be just delectable. I can hardly wait. All right, I'll bring you back when we put the cheese on, and we might even turn the broiler on a little bit to crisp up that cheese. Oh, yeah. All the good stuff. Hot diggity. My belly's hitting my backbone. I'm so excited about it. All right, I got to clean up a little bit, and we'll be back in a minute. I love St. Patrick's Day. While this is cooking in the oven, wanted to bring you a little St. Patrick's Day trivia. Yay, hooray. The first St. Patrick's Day parade ever held in, the Americas was in St. Augustine, Florida in the year 1602. Though at the time a Spanish colony, they had an Irish vicar. Yeah, who knew? Anyhow, yeah, that was the first St. Patrick's Day parade in the Americas. Yay, hooray. What are your chances of finding a four-leaf clover? About 1 in 10,000. The largest number of leaves ever found on a single clover, 56. Absolutely. In England, they celebrate St. Patrick's Day by turning the London Eye, the huge giant Ferris wheel, green for St. Patrick's Day. Isn't that fun? And in Chicago, they pour gallons and gallons of green dye to turn the river green. I think that's fantastic. Whether you're drinking green beer, whether you're just wearing a little green, whether you have a ridiculous little hair thing going on, however you celebrate St. Patrick's Day, maybe you're just having a Guinness and, eating a little corned beef and cabbage or something like that. Fantastic. Treat yourselves. It's a time to celebrate. Any saint that can get rid of a whole aisle full of snakes, that's a saint for me. Yes, please, and thank you. All right, Yippee Skippy, Andrew and Melissa, the Peanut Gallery, they've already been in here wanting to know when's dinner and it smells good, yada, yada, yada. I've got a little bit of that mild cheddar that we chopped up, ground up yesterday in the food processor. Yay, hooray. And just a couple of little handfuls. That's all it's going to take. It just needs that little essence of cheese, in my opinion. I'll go ahead and pop this back into the oven. Pop that broiler on and set the lid aside. Gonna go ahead and grab some plates so we can get all ready for dinner. I would love to serve this with some Irish soda bread. I would love to serve this with some hot cross buns. We're not having either, but it's still gonna be yummy and delicious. Yippee Skippy, hot diggity, and yay hooray, I'm ready for dinner. Make your milk. Okay, well, it's dinner time. Cheese is all melty. Everything looks super yummy and delicious. Yay, hooray. Let's go ahead and get this served up. Ooh, Nelly, that is hot, hot, hot. Okay, plenty of that corned beef. Plenty of that cabbage. Yes, please and thank you. Some of those delicious mashed potatoes. And that super delicious cheese right on top. Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh, yes. All right. Fantastic. All right, here we go. Looks like dinner to me. Yay, hooray. We're going to go enjoy this. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Be good, be careful. Look both ways. Yay, hooray for St. Patrick's Day. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching Crazy But Not Dangerous. Bye now.